Nice. Okay, hello. I see one viewer. So what we will start from is we will imagine how the config looks for hello for the end viewer, the end user. Wow. Let me formulate it the best. Probably don't see shit. What are we making? We are making an application, an overlay for Dota 2 game. I probably need to edit the stream description. Yeah, well, this is the last video on the channel called Branching Out. If I would be a better streamer, I'd probably had a link to it in the description. Give me a second. Copy video URL. If anything works correctly, I updated the description. Okay, so the core entity is probably something called reminder, right? Reminder entity. And since we like JSONs, it will be serialized as JSON. It will probably have a name to distinguish it from other shit. It will have an overlay window, because we will have several overlay windows, like one here, one behind the clocks, etc. Maybe one blocking the minimap. So it will be a window name or ID. Well, this is planned to be like a secondary line of content for the channel, that like niche thing, just because I would do it anyway on my free time, so why won't I record it? It will be text information. Let's just say content. Okay, so it probably has like a timing of fire. Time in seconds. Cache. It also wants to have like timing borders, so we can fire shit at 45 seconds each minute, but let's say like after minute 5 till minute 20. So after node. О, привет, Оскар. It's probably the right thing to do. I mean, it's somehow the best game in the world and the worst game in the world. I love you, but be like all and watch the video in the description, or just the last video on my channel. It also will need like cyclical, and it's Boolean, so ooh. Like the moment I see a Boolean parameter, I immediately know I did something wrong, but let's continue. If it's cyclical, it must have period. Let's say I'm starting to believe we run into first troubles. So the data feed we live on, it has like a lot of data. For example, it has an event of player death, and like it is probably like a needed trigger. So we will probably want to show something on death, right? But how do I actually serialize this into? I mean, it's like it's a Boolean, but how do we? How does it stack with everything else? The problem is this thing, like cyclical true period, it's like it's a mod. So if I don't need, if it's like cyclical false, then this field is obsolete. And if on def false is false, also like everything about on def is obsolete. we will probably also want to have heroes. And it's like on enemy. And what are they? IDs or names, probably. I mean, it is JSON, but it's like, it's not for speed throwing it through network. It's just a config for user. I haven't touched PHP code for beta, I believe. If we have an enemy, we like quickly must switch to have an ally. And starts to smell like shit. I mean, ideally, I want users to have like complete mega super freedom on what they can do. Like, I mean, maybe C D E F G. If like if they want something like, or I don't know, not D or and if they want to have something like this, we must provide, right? What is in progress? I mean, you probably can just watch the stream. It's a serious question of how do you design. What I like to do is I just start from the top and I like describe what my algorithm should do with the most broad lines I have. Just break. But no, I am a fan of very declarative school, so it's like there are other people on this planet who think by the different rails, you know. Right now, what I do, because I'm very declarative, I am like goal oriented, and I am imagining what should user, how should the end user work with a completely working application, and I'm trying to imagine the best way they work with it. And when I finish with this task, I will have like a picture of what a complete application should do, right? And I just implement it. What I'm stumbling right now, imagine like for Dota players specifically, like imagine we have Bristleback in the enemy team, and something got wrong. Bristleback, and we want to counter it, but we want to counter it only if our team doesn't have, for example, Hoodwink with built-in break. So I want to create I want to be able to create a reminder like counter Bristleback if your team doesn't have break, and then like after minute 20 once. So in human language, I want this. But that's like for humans. And no one makes me write an interpreter AI in configs file instead of JSONs. This is a condition, right? So what if these ones are the only true properties of reminder? And it also has a condition. And these ones are not properties of a reminder at all. Like, we take this for now, and then we, like, these things, they describe A, B, C, D, etc., right? So we can, it's like, what does a condition is made of? Brick, I don't know. Clause, trigger. So what if you have trigger entity and this is like an abstract class? Abstract. We then have like timed trigger. I can actually imagine it clearly now. Look at this. So this thing, so it's like, it's a dynamic boolean. It's true or false, depending on the game data. And we have a bunch of these dudes like built into some structure, some boolean logic condition. So we get we get an event from game data provider. We feed this data to all our triggers. They embody either true or false, and then we calculate the condition string. So timed these properties are actually just properties of timed trigger. In this paradigm, we will have like periodic, that is a big second layer inheritance bait, but we won't be baited into it. With period. And like this is what I was spoken of. So if I see a boolean value described in some class, I immediately think, like, can this be two classes similar, with one having this boolean value true and the other one false? So when we like took the time trigger and we separated it from periodic trigger, we sort of we add our period because it's like it's a data that is a valuable characteristic of some entity, but we killed the cyclical parameter because it's sort of non-existent, aside from this context of trying to describe everything. We will probably also have like on death. Oh wow, and like on death trigger it doesn't have fields at all. Interesting. Ah, they have another field. They have ABC. So they all have a name. Yeah, and it makes sense config-wise, so like something like this. They all have a name. Well, yeah, it's applicable. I am just grabbing Dota because Dota actually has this like Dota game state integration. I would be taking everything I need from the screen data, but I'll probably won't be able to like stream and distribute that software so easily for other games. And on dev trigger has a name like on death. Still, like, this shit is singleton as fuck, right? This is singleton. I would also need probably to, like, do you see shit if I do it this way? Yeah, dev count is a nice idea. Thinking of that, it probably may have like sort of death streak. Like if you died like three times during a 3-minute time interval, then your screen must like become black for 5 seconds with a big text like think about your life. Man, you're doing something wrong. Stop it. Get some help. But that's probably like an inheritance bait. So like not on death trigger but on death streak trigger or something, but I like the idea. This port is so Java. I like names because they also like they describe the idea what it does straight from the config stage for user. So like name must have break. Oh, I have an idea. So what if this thing is not ID and not name, but a tag? Yeah. So imagine we have a separate config with like hero entities that consist of ID, name for humans, and then an array of tags. So like in that those config files, they are per user unique, right? So for example, if I want to counter bristlebacks and I know that I don't bring break mechanic often, I can just have a tag like requires break as a tag for bristleback entry in heroes. And I also like this is a tag, just a line. I can slap it onto some other like break baiting heroes like Spectre, etc. And then we differentiate heroes not by name or ID, but just requires break. And it's a single parameter. For example, like if I just what the fuck? If I just ask this to give me a set of heroes that require break, and it automatically brings me like Bristleback, Spectre, what else? I don't know, Phantom Assassin? Probably. And then we also probably can have enemy counter, so like 2. And then we want to have all this, but for Alice. Wait. I'm stupid. Onali is just another trigger. Or is it on hero? Maybe it's on hero. I mean, I can see it because inside the condition, it starts to look like a working thing. So imagine we have like 2 of these. So we can have like enemies that require something on our team to bring break, but we also have like hoodwinks of the world that bring break mechanic into the game without even like adjusting, they just have it. So, and then our condition is like becomes human readable, what I always like. So like if Human language. If I don't have built-in break, and I have 2 break targets, I trigger this thing to remind me to bring my own break, to start thinking of my own break to buy. And then as a reminder, it will probably be like or rather this. So I will have somewhere like on hero trigger that is called built-in break, and all it has is like empty enemies strings. The name is built-in break. On alle like brings break, and that brings break tag is slapped onto like 5 heroes that bring break mechanic into the game, and alle counter 1, and this will work. And this is very human readable string, but also a boolean condition for our computer. Do we have any tips on staying motivated and finishing things? I mean, this is a slightly cyberbullying, I believe, question for a man who for a year had a channel that was operated by strict scheduling, and then decided one day that he doesn't want to do strict scheduling anymore, and pivots the content line like 90 degrees into other direction. So you better not ask me questions about motivation. No, I mean, it's like Jesus Christ. No, I'm not offended. That's a joke. It's like, it's like I am the super wrong individual to ask this shit. What bothers me now is that where do I define triggers? Because on one hand, we are like a JSON file, right? I can do these triggers and define them as an array of entities. And here I will have like this, basically. Right? And I don't care about like the volume of reminder entity as it looks in JSON view, because like in the end of the day this is like just a config file. A proper application must probably generate them by an interface. But on the other hand, let's make it like brings break. This is empty. This is 0. Yes, I want them reusable because, for example, look at on death. Like, on def is singleton as fuck. I don't need to define another on def here just to be able to use it in a condition line. I must to be able to just have this in my condition if on death, and the system like knows, because you can't really have a lot of on deaths. We probably can do something like we can CSS ourselves and in some other in some other file we can have like static I mean, that's exactly that's exactly a motivation issue, because if I am spending like 20 hours to create a video that nobody watches, then I lack motivation to create the next one, right? In my eyes, that's like motivation 101. This also makes sense because, for example, let's imagine this situation. We will have a reminder okay. Holy shit. Until like minute 10, 20. Wait, what? So we can have a trigger that will be triggered on 45 seconds every minute, and we call it stuck in time. And then we don't have one reminder probably, right? So somewhere else we have another config or another layer of this config, like not reminder entity, but now like a coach entity or a program entity, that we will have the parameter of like name, support, right? And it will have an array parameter of reminders. And inside it, we will have defined a bunch of those. All right. So we probably have like two programs, at least, like one support and one core. And both programs, maybe even several reminders actually in one program, will want to use this stack in time like condition brick just by name. And then it makes extra sense to have it defined in other file and just like pull it from the static vault of our bricks. But each reminder also can have its own triggers defined for faster access and for clear view of what uses this exact brick, so you don't fuck up this reminder by editing some text in other file, right? Well, this is the question of sort of initial motivation impulse, because my first 3 or 4 videos also had like 100 of views after a week, like 20 views after a day. That's what's like my life for a month. But that I was carried through on my like motivation impulse, because the fact that I spent 20 hours on a thing no one watches was not a factor in my eyes, because I just wanted to make this thing because my ass was burning and I thought someone needs to do it. Well, like, it's an iterative process. I also learned a lot about what makes YouTube video watched, etc. And I'm still bad at it. Like, take break his videos. The dude took a break from YouTube for several years, came back, and his one video has like almost exact the name of views as my like all my videos. So he knows his shit better than me, and I know my shit better than you. Like, just learn, I guess. I like what I see. The only thing, probably, since we have a program entity defined in the config, we might also be forced to make like a priority field like 1, because imagine we have like one overlay window, and in exact moment we will have 2 reminders that want to be shown in that window. If we have like a program with like 20 of them defined, the conflict might happen. And to rule on what gets through in that moment, we will need a priority. Fuck, I'm stupid. We also need like on screen time duration it calls. We also need on screen duration, because like the time to stack a camp on 45 seconds is an event that is true for exactly 1 second on 45 seconds, and if we show our shit for 1 second on the screen, we probably just bamboozle users instead of helping them. I like what I see. That looks like a working configuration file, honestly. Okay, let's try this. My computer can't load draw IO. New diagram. Let's try to... I usually do it with like pen and pencil, so it might look super clunky at first. What classes do we probably encounter, like, what the fuck, in 100%? We obviously encounter like the class named app, because it's like an entry point. How do I copy shit? Oh, we will obviously have something like main window, right? What the fuck? What else do we got? In the interface, we probably need overlay window, and that will be our small, like, unclickable through, transparent window, etc. We will probably have something that sort of marries... no, wrong coder. So we'll obviously have like data provider. Ah, shit. Game data. So game data just exists somewhere and spits events, right? Where do these events go? These events probably go into an application. What the fuck? Can you just like not try to be smarter than me? Events, Okay, we then have like a bunch of reminder logic, like trigger is obviously a class. Reminder is obviously a class. Fuck, I lost original application. Then those reminders, events, and this all somehow translates to overlay windows having actual information in them and showing and fading out. So probably like a big application hosts the... Excuse me. Big application hosts this shit. Its events from game data, and then commands overlay window. What the fuck main window is for? Well, main window obviously like closes the program. The main window probably regulates overlay windows. Let's just say like something like settings. And we're pretty discrete. We don't like basically all the logic that makes our application react on user is created inside main window, because main window probably have like two buttons. One button is like go into in-game mode, and the other button is like change overlay settings, like overlay window color, border, etc. And that's all the interaction we have with user. And the rest of the app logic-wise, the application is discrete and in lives in-game data updates, so basically once a second. Okay. Now let's shit our pants. How do I actually do anything C# related? How do I create folder? What the actual fuck? Can I create a folder? I probably can. Mystical. What did I press? Why did it? I mean... Hmm. Damn, it's really struggling. Okay, game data. Can I just create a class, please? I mean, it is not really known to be the fastest IDE, and my computer specs are very meh. Damn. I mean, at least it doesn't freeze to type shit, right? Holy fuck. It might actually freeze to type shit. RIP streamer career. Okay, so our game data will have... What the fuck? We'll have this function. Hello, hello. I don't remember actually. I mean, probably 32 RAM. And I don't remember the processor. Game. Так. So, like, this shit now belongs to game data. And in what form does it belong? We probably do it in the constructor. So we have like private GSL. I mean, honestly, what can you use aside from Visual Studio VS Code? It is even worse in my opinion. At least we have here like this WPF application page that will probably make my PC burn for just trying to open it. Unbelievably. Well, I haven't turned off my PC for like 10 days. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should try to do it once in a while, but for now, let's have it as is. That I already have. Ну, покажи доступные решения. Thanks. game state is I just generated for you the world game state, but it is not a world. Okay. Now we need to create an object of this type in our application, right? We don't need this. Instead, we will have game data. What? It botched the namespace or not? Why can't I see it? Nice. What's wrong, baby? How do I actually link? Can I have like can I have a link to this sheet in my application? And how do I do it? Because this shit is generated, I guess, because I have like startup URI, right? So it's like it's alternative to the main function. This requires googling. Чего, блять? Is it legal? Isn't this like a reflection as fuck? Okay. I mean, let's test this. I probably need to end the stream, turn on the PC, turn it back on, and get rid of all background shit. It takes like 3 business days to open. Value can be null. So this probably fails because main window doesn't exist, or because the application doesn't exist, because we do this shit in constructor, right? Yeah, I probably can. Let's get rid of chromes. Let's get rid of this shit. This shit I don't need. Look at this sexy boy. You will see this later, but we created the perfect split of torso from legs, like with drag and droppable shit. So you like have different torso working with different legs. Okay, if we can do this from constructor, where do we do it? Do we do it at all? In fact, why do we even create this piece of shit as some non-intuitive startup URI instead of just kicking this process from here? I mean, it was generated in that way. Maybe some C# gods really want me to do it, but what if I just how is it done? How? Fuck, I forgot. exclamation dash dash. Dash dash. Nice. What if I just don't have the main window until I make one? Ah, fuck. Piss off. At least it runs, right? And I still have made window as a window, so I can like instantiate it. So like and then hello, hello. Nice. Wait, where is my main window? What the fuck? It is defined, right? Okay. And it has a visual representation of like an empty window with title. What do I don't understand? Yeah. Okay, actually, be right back. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm here. Okay. How do I create window manually? It will probably be more interesting for you guys if I just like show you the googling process as well. What the fuck? Victory. Nice. Okay. This probably goes into the end. Surely it lives in some like in a separate thread for graphics, right? Or do I need to set up it to be that way by hands? What else do I need? Also, is this application an overlay, like an overlay wrapper as a wall, or is this another class? I probably need like, okay, I probably need another folder. And I need to put this into interface, right? And here another window. And I actually you do hear it, right? Fuck. I remember playing with this like Windows code. I have some code piece that I absolutely like, that I understand 0% of, that makes window clickable through. So this is like a non-window, but it still is clickable. And then let's actually try it. Let's actually try it. Let's say it fuck up namespace. Also my Godot memory. Так, early window. А в чем проблема? Что не так, родной? What's wrong? What? What? Why does it break when I change the namespace? This is a method of window, right? Or not? What the actual fuck? Mystical, блять. Okay. How do I include like, using I guess. It is created on a different screen. It doesn't have a trace in the tray, and I can't drag and drop this window because it like doesn't have handlers. Oh, what do I do now? Okay, anyways, we have the magical text. My first static bullshit class. It will have the worst possible names. It will be all static. Probably even this level of static. Op. So this black magic must enable me to create these windows like completely clickable through. Isn't you in the same? Why? Doesn't exist. But it's public. Why doesn't it exist? Because I'm stupid. Okay. We probably need an instrument to create it from from bounds, right? So like is it a rectangle? Width height. Nice, we have rectangles. So this name, you're so smart. This left. No. Do it till the end, I guess. And then what I will do with it is I will create it with like sure. What? Почему? Okay, one word. I have left monitor as my main one, so it must be like can I do this? Nice. Do you see this? It's like it's here, but I can even click like I can do whatever through it. This is an overlay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it some text. How do I do it? I probably need to do it from Windows Creator. Text block. Text. I know. Hello. world. Terrible. Okay. What else text have? Text. Font size like 60. Center div. Alignment probably. Center. Center. Wait, what? What the fuck? Okay. Maybe this much? Beautiful. Gorgeous. Look at this. Unbelievably. Now I need a way to pretty much dynamically span them. Instantiate them. I probably need a config file with a bunch of overlay windows defined, like name plus bounds, right? And what class does read them? Is this window service bullshit that just will have here like public list get overlay schema? Or what? From a string file name probably, right? Also, does it create overlays or does it just provide data? My Binder senses tell me that it is already bad, like, so it must just read the file and provide data to some overarching overlay management shit. Probably need like a read, because load, that's the world, load, because right here it will have like public void save overlay schema, right? But if it does it, like, what does it return? A list? Is this a thing? I hate myself. So it returns a list of tuples of string and rectangle. What's wrong, honey? What is it from? System Windows Rect. Чего, блядь? Probably because I didn't like fully define it here, right? I mean, блять, is pretty much in international words right now. Can't say anyone lost the translation meaning, right? Okay. Now, if we have this implemented, how do we use it from here? We probably have like a collection of them. Called overlay, simply. And here we do overlay. Yep. I'm trying to write on a different language, don't I? How do I do it? Okay. It's C#. It certainly has some smartass thing with lambdas. How do I... Fuck. Что, блядь, не так со мной? In. I probably have a brain cancer. Is it a good word? It's a Windows schema, right? What? It looks awful. Should I tuple the argument just because of it? But if I do it, it looks awful. Wait, I'm using a real language. I'm not using Godot bullshit. I can have two constructors in a class. I almost forgot that real languages have this feature, Jesus. And I can just Windows Hima this shit here, right? This is also like in the future these are all like different methods, obviously. I bet it can do it. It feels so good. The fuck is this shit? Oh fuck. And we don't show them because like we show them only when reminder hits, right? Okay, how do I actually work with a file? It's okay. Right. But where is this folder actually? Especially in debug. Let's just run and wait till it breaks. Why doesn't it break? Because method doesn't reach shit. О, боже мой. I already have something called Newton JSON because it's dependency for the game data integration library. What is this? Newton soft JSON. Ah, it's the same shit. Okay. Let's steal this. Okay, let's just print this shit for now. Debug JSON. And then it breaks because I don't have even the resources folder, right? Could not find a part path, h.overlay, overlay it up, bin, debug, net windows. Okay, so I need to go where h.overlay, h.overlay, bin, debug, windows, create folder, resources. Right? Overlay app, bin, debug, net windows, resources, overlay schema. Seems legit. And this must be a JSON file. The fuck? So trying again. Why don't I have any output? Huh? Why don't I have any output? Ah, I have output. It read my JSON. Nice. How do I deserialize it into a tuple? Так. Okay, another try. Like this. Deserialize object into tuples. Tuples. How is it pronounced actually? блядь?
Tuple.
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 Окей. Окей. Like this, probably. Because it's not a tuple, that's a SDF, SDF, SDF into SDF, SDF, SDF. Okay. You know what I will do? I will leave it as is, and I will write a save method, save a configuration, and I won't be forced into creating it by hands. So I guess there is a method for this, right? Oh, built-in article. How nice of them. Would be neat if it worked. Can't I just like serialize an object? JSON convert. JSON convert. The fuck? I am so bad. Like, Damn, I forgot how to write already. So this... Чё? It's static, probably, so who the fuck cares? What? Okay. Holy shit. I'm sorry for everyone who end up dead from this. Where is constructor? Fields, examples. Stop. I'm an idiot. JSON writer. It can't be that bad. Wait, create text? What the fuck? I remember it's like it didn't look so awful. Just like from this. here just writer, I guess. Just like this, right? And this is not awful at all. Okay, save overlay schema. Holy fuck. I mean, it is a JSON file. Okay, I read something about formatting. Dun, 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 dun. Formatting intended, probably, right? Nice. Wait, why item 1? Ideally, I want this to be like name and this bounce, right? Do I need to invent a data transfer object for this shit? Or do I just manually save Windows? Fuck. I mean, it serializes a tuple. So like, we either don't use a single serialized command and do shit by hands, or we use single serialized command, but we must create a proper data transfer object post schema. Let's end the stream here, because I'm doing it for 2 hours, a bit longer, and I'm a little bit tired first stream. If anyone has any questions about Godot or any project, that's like a last minute chance to ask them if you want. Do I really do it? Yeah, okay. If no questions are incoming, thanks for watching. See ya. Maybe on the next week. I don't know. Like, this is a very, very secondary line of content. So, bye-bye. I will later make a repository for this project. Whatever. Thanks for watching.